Hi, I'm Don Brailsford. I'm here to talk today with Alan Smith, who is the founder of ASA Advisors. And the reason we wanted to speak with Alan today is that Alan was sharing with us a powerful and I think really unique perspective and tool to use that has created some great results for his clients, planning for retirements. And that's something he calls purpose-based planning. Alan, thanks for being with us today.
Thanks, Don. Good to be here.
Yeah. So we talked about this a little bit before, but if you would, talk a little bit about what purpose-based planning is all about.
Well, just real briefly, it's helping clients find what their passions are for what I call when they grow up, at the point in time when they're going to transition from their career to their time together in the retirement years, and what really drives them and what can add purpose to their lives. Probably best to explain with a quick example. One of my client couples really did plan this out well, and I can't say I was real instrumental in that. They already had some ideas of what they wanted to do, and I like to think I helped them focus that and bring it to a real firm plan to how they were going to accomplish those goals. And then we figured out how to build their finances around them, and all that worked together. He was actually able to retire several years early because of the way that came together, and we realized how it could, their financial situation could support all these goals that they had that they wanted to accomplish. And as a result, they're, as far as I'm concerned, they're living the dream. They retired to a different state where they're really enjoying life, and yet very active in the charitable causes and different things that they were already exploring and getting involved in prior to retirement, and develop their relationship to where they're really, they enjoy spending a lot of time just together,
Right.
between each other, family, their charitable causes. Again, they're living the dream and they're really enjoying life in their retirement.
Yeah, that's what a full life is all about. I would agree with that 100%. I think I mentioned to you, my dad's 87, and his idea of retirement is to only work a full-time job. But the fact is, it's not really work. The old adage, if you love what you do, you never work a day in your life. He goes in every day. He has a purpose. He does whatever he wants to, whenever he wants to, but he still has someplace to go every day. And he's blessed that way. For most folks, as you mentioned with your clients, they don't necessarily have the ability to keep doing what they're doing on and on and on, nor do they necessarily want to, but they get to go pursue something that, as my son would often say, makes your heart smile, something that you enjoy, something that means something to you. And I know that, I've read stories about longevity studies where if someone has something, a purpose, that without a purpose, if you retire, it's like your life expectancy is some ridiculously small number, like 18 months, but with purpose, 20, 30 years. So I think that speaks volume. What is your process when you start talking with an individual or a couple as they go into this? How do you start to draw that from them? Like, what is it like? What is it you like to do? What do you do with that?
We have a real extensive questionnaire that kind of drills down into clients' lives to try to figure out, what are their likes and dislikes? What hobbies do they have? What interests do they have? What things do they like to do? What do they like to do alone? What do they like to do together?
Mm-hmm.
What are some of the areas of compatibility that really kind of just come right to the forefront? And what activities are they involved in now that they enjoy? What things do they not enjoy? So we take that and help them develop and see what interest areas they have. If they're not sure, we strongly encourage them to go out and try some things. We deal a lot with people who are very faithful in their religions and their churches, but yet they're not necessarily very active. And we say, well, if that's an area of interest for you, but you're not very active yet, why don't you try doing some things? Try volunteering here or there, or this charitable organization you've been giving to for quite some time. Have you ever thought of volunteering a couple hours a week to join them? So we encourage them to experiment, to try those things out, and would help them find out which ones. And the goal being, by the time they're actually retired, or at least fairly quickly into it, we've helped them define something that they really do want to pursue.
I remember it's funny, but we as human beings, we're trained our whole lives. You really need someone to give you permission to do things like that. And so I think the brilliance of what you just said is that you're telling them, hey, you're already making donations, donate time. Hey, you're already involved in the church, get more involved. And I think a lot of people are amazed at, wow, I could just do that. And it's sort of a shock to them. And that's that by going through this purpose, and also sometimes just articulating it, just bringing it to the foot. Like when we're forced to talk about it and go, what do you really like? Well, I don't know. Well, do you like, we tend to live our lives sort of at a very, very superficial level sometimes, without really digging in and saying, I want more of this and I want less of that. And so I think that your process is brilliant in that it does what do you want more of? What do you want less of? How do you define a great life? And what's funny, and we spoke about this before, you were saying it's not about the money. The money is it's ancillary to whatever they want to do. If there's enough money to do what they want to do, like you said, retire early, enjoy your life, enjoy the life that you've always wanted, not just make this scorecard go, well, I could probably get another 200,000 or 300,000 if I work another 6 years. So what if it's 6 years of misery and you could be doing exactly what you want to do for the rest of your life? Why waste any more time doing something that you may not necessarily enjoy? So I think that is fantastic. If someone is going to do purpose-based planning, how would they prepare themselves best to sit down with you? What sort of things would you say, hey, you ought to think about this, or you ought to do this, or gather this? What sort of things do you think would make sense?
I really encourage people just to sit down and have a casual conversation first and see if we're a good fit and if purpose-based planning really fits for them. An initial conversation, going over just a few of the basic preliminary questions, helps them see whether or not that's something they're really interested in. Some people just aren't. And if that's the case, we're not a good fit.
Yeah.
But as they start realizing it, very frequently in those initial conversations, all of a sudden I'll see one or both of a couple just start lighting up about a topic.
Right.
And just asking a few more questions around that, it becomes really obvious that, and both to me and to them, that
right.
This is something they really love, they're really passionate about, and they want to spend the rest of their lives, or at least a good portion of it, getting more and more involved in that arena of their life. And that's when it gets really fun for all of us. And we realize, yeah, this could work out well, for all of us in a great relationship.
So if I can sort of sum this all up, you've taken many, many years of experience doing financial planning. You've mixed into that. You've now identified and developed a process around the intangible quality aspects of life, individual to each person. And you've instituted a methodology where you can sit down with someone, help them establish exactly what it is they really want to be when they grow up, so to speak, what they want out of their life, what they've worked their whole career for, and then draw the roadmap to execute on that. And from that comes these great stories of people retiring, doing exactly what they wanted to do, and then sometimes even if they didn't know they wanted to do it, but discovering that there's a life that's so fulfilling and so enjoyable because they stopped thinking retirement's about money and that it's really about the life. Is that a good summation for you?
I think that fits real well. because I
Okay.
have three passions in my life, and one of them, my work passion, which is what I come to work every day for, is exactly that: helping people really achieve that which they're meant to do, what their built-in purpose is for life, and helping them make that really happen.
Well, outstanding. I think that's something that everybody should know about, and we'll certainly let folks know what it is that you're doing because I think it should be at the front burner of every planner's tools that they first determine what it is you're trying to do because not everybody's about keeping the scores with the decimal places. Sometimes there's other things that matter more, and hopefully always there's stuff that matters more. But definitely, I think you finally got the horse in front of the cart as opposed to the other way around, which it seems to be now that I've got all this money, what am I going to do with it? Versus this is what I want to do. How much money do I need to get it done? And I think that's a smarter way to do it. So, congratulations on your success. Congratulations to your clients enjoying the life that they want. And I wish you many, many more of them, sir.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it, Don.
Yes, sir.